welcome to the workshop. I've tested a couple of mini laser engravers before, but recently I was asked to have a go at something slightly bigger. This is the longer Ray5 10W laser engraver, and it can also cut stuff, so that's going to be exciting to look at. I'm going to be trying to do things that I haven't done or managed to do before with the smaller lasers, and most especially I want to see if I can mark my tools. Most of my planes are cast iron. It'd be really nice if I could mark those with a logo or with my name. So I'll be trying that, and be trying to cut through some stuff. Be nice to be able to cut through some veneers, and also to try etching on some steel. So varied things I'm going to be trying with it. Hopefully it works out well. A note on safety: you don't want to be looking anywhere near this. At 10 watts there's a lot of power coming out of this laser, and even if you're around it you want to be wearing the specs that come with it. Focusing with the other machines I've used has been a bit of basically looking at it and seeing whether you think the dot is nice and small or not, and moving things up and down. So it's been a bit of a hash. This one comes with a little height gauge, and that you use between the surface that you want to engrave and the laser head itself. Really easy to do. A controlled Z axis would allow for the printing around curved surfaces, for example, or sloping surfaces, a lot better than it copes with them. Obviously, when it goes out of focus, or slightly out of focus as it goes around a curved surface, the amount of engraving changes, and you get burning in very focused areas and less burning in other areas. The machine arrives partly assembled. There is a little bit of assembly to do, and it's very easy. I found it very easy anyway. Basically just putting the four sides of the frame together, putting on the roller carriage which has already been constructed, and then adding the belts to the two sides through the wheels. That really was very easy. Then all you have to do is attach the laser module to the carriage, and pretty much you're away. Now in the UK you'll find, well I found anyway, it came with a European plug to it, and that's an earthed one, so you'll need to find a 3-pin UK plug and put that on the lead instead. Now the machine comes with a touchscreen display, so you can use most of the function of the machine from that display, and also it's got a slot for a TF card. So you can put the memory card in with your design on it and print directly from the machine, which means you can take the machine to the job and you don't have to have a computer around, you don't even have to have your mobile around, just the machine, press the buttons and away it goes. Easy as that. Now to give you an idea of how portable it is, like I say, it will print at roughly a 400mm square. The machine's a bit bigger than that, probably near 600 by 500 maybe. It's pretty light, you know, you could easily move that around, take that around with you on a job site. Okay, so the machine comes with some software. There's an app that you can use on your phone. It's very easy to draw things with your finger, so you could do a signature and then get it to engrave that. Happens really fast, but for doing more complicated stuff you're going to need to use your laptop or a PC. It comes bundled with Laser GRBL, which is a free shareware program that does this sort of stuff, creates the G-code, sends it to the machine. That's wonderful. For converting a picture that you've already got into the G-code for the machine, works really well, really sweet. If you want to design in a package that also can operate the machine, then it comes with Lightburn. That's a trial version of Lightburn. You will have to subscribe to that or pay for that if you want to keep using that. But that's a package which allows you to draw exactly what you want in the package and send it to the machine. So that's a great idea as well. I've been using the Laser GRBL with pictures I've already got, and also drawing pictures in other apps and then sending them to Laser GRBL to convert to the G-code and operate the machine. Now, have I been impressed with the machine itself? Well, it's handled everything I've thrown at it. One thing it struggled with a little bit was the steel plate. I did manage to get a design on it, but it really wasn't making that much of an impression. So you'd have to go a number of passes to make that really visible. On the cast iron of this old plane, I was really quite impressed. That just took one pass, and there's a very clear design. I should have done it on a nice smooth surface on the plane. It's a little bit rough, so it does muck up the view a little bit, but seeing it in the flesh, it's nice and clear. Also cutting the puzzle that I cut, and here's a smaller version of it where I didn't cut right the way through. That worked really well. So you just find an image of a puzzle pieces, overlay it on what you want to cut into a puzzle, and send it to the machine. Boom, you've cut your puzzle out. So that's one way you could monetize the machine very simply. Now, any things that I don't particularly like about the machine? Well, it would be really nice if it had a Z-axis on it that was operated by the machine. So the G-code could send the laser up and down. So when you're cutting, you could send it deeper and deeper to cut through thicker material. That would be really cool. So it doesn't have that. That's a manual function, and I don't believe from handling it that doing it manually is going to be accurate enough to cut in exactly the same position once you've readjusted the head. But I mean, that's one of those things. Otherwise, it seems to be fairly well constructed. I'm not a huge fan of the belting that's used for driving things around. I know it's very similar, if not the same, as I have on my X-Carve machine, and I've had to replace one of those belts after not a huge amount of use. So that could be an issue. Although fair's fair, it's probably very cheap to get extra lengths of belting. The memory slot being TF, not that widely used, I don't think, in sort of computers and that have you. So it would have been nicer perhaps if that had been a USB slot for a USB memory card, or a SD card or something like that. That personal preference, of course. And it would be nice if the controller itself had the ability to take a graphic off the card and change that to G-code and send that to the machine. Also with the touchscreen, perhaps it could display the graphic that it was going to print, because you're on here, you're selecting from a list, like a directory of G-code files that you've got to print. But if you can't remember which one you want to print, it'd be nice if there was a picture there to see. The cabling, there's a little bit of a faff when you put the machine together, a few cable ties to tie this up so it doesn't get in the way, but it hangs a bit here. Obviously the machine has to move across, so you need that length of cable, but maybe there'd be a better way of connecting those so it stayed up out the way the whole way rather than just dangles around. So that could be improved upon. But really it does come down to just small nitpicking. The machine itself did what I wanted it to do, so I'm perfectly happy with that. So overall I was impressed with the machine. It did everything I wanted of it, and yeah, I like it. I think if I'd known what it did beforehand and I wasn't going to be given it, then there's a very good chance I would have bought it. Something would be interesting to try, and I'd like to try, is using the air assist, which blows away the gas and the smoke when it's cutting, to avoid that attaching itself to the material around where you've cut, leaving a cleaner cut. It'd be nice to try that one out. And also I think there is some assists that go underneath the cutting material, lift it up off the deck so that the heat isn't sucked away. That'd be interesting to try as well.